consultant, and I also rank as a top 1% LinkedIn social seller. So what does that mean? That means I know how to use LinkedIn to make sales in my coaching and consultancy business. Okay. Now, fun fact, in case you didn't know, every single one of you, so long as you have a LinkedIn profile, you have what they call an SSI, Social Seller Index. And you can find out how you rank amongst individuals within your industry and within your field on where you land as a social seller. For me, I'm a top 1%. Okay. Now, let me just kind of share a little bit of my journey. I paid my dues in corporate HR for 20 years. Okay. Specifically in hiring and learning and development. Okay. Talent management, talent acquisition. I did not ever think that I was going to be an entrepreneur. I'll be really honest with you. I'm a first generation entrepreneur. My mom, my dad, they're immigrants to the US. I'm first generation born Hmong American. My parents thought I lost my marbles. They were like, why would you walk away from your 6-figure salary in HR to do this thing? And so it was one of those things where, as a first generation entrepreneur, we got a lot of things to prove. You know what I'm saying? And I started my business almost 8 years ago. I'm coming up on my 8th year in January. And I'll tell you this, when I realized how to use LinkedIn to increase visibility, credibility, influence, and revenue, that was how I grew my revenue. My first year in business, I made a whopping $270 that whole year. Okay. At least it wasn't zero, right? But 270, yep. Like a week's worth of groceries. Like that was it, Mm-hmm. My husband was like, we got to do something better. We're going to start making money. Once I really leaned and I knew how to sell on LinkedIn, literally in 1 year, I went from 270 annually to 103,000 a year in revenue. Okay. So let me tell you, when I say, if you are looking to use LinkedIn to make money, this is the place for you. All right. So the next question that I get a lot from people is, okay, Mollie, so what would you consider an actually robust LinkedIn strategy? All right. Now I'm going to start from top down, but essentially I am a wizard when it comes to organic lead generation in the ways in which you do not need to pay for business premium. You don't need to pay for sales nav in order to generate revenue on LinkedIn. And that's my specialty. I help people to use the free version of LinkedIn first to get your ROI, to understand how to use the platform, to actually turn your connections, your followers, your subscribers into paying clients before you even throw money at LinkedIn. Okay. But for the sake of a robust LinkedIn strategy, a LinkedIn strategy starts first with, of course, profile optimization. I teach attraction marketing strategies, not just any type of attraction marketing. I prefer attraction marketing strategy, okay? Which is, how do we use our content to call in our ideal clients? And most importantly, how do we deter them, okay? The ones that are misaligned. I teach on experiential sales, organic lead generation. How do we use the DMs, or in LinkedIn's world, in-mail sales sequencing, to convert sales? And then, of course, we have to talk about sales nav and SEM, which stands for search engine marketing. These would be like the B2B ads, the promoted ads, how you boost an ad, those type of things. Okay, so this is what I would determine as a robust LinkedIn strategy. All right, now before I jump into kind of like the nuts and bolts, please know, if you have a question, please interrupt me. I would much rather us answer your questions real time. We will have some time at the end, of course, but if you have a really itchy question, drop it in the chat or interrupt me, come off of mute. I want to make sure that I can answer those questions real time, okay? All right, so what's the difference between optimization and monetization? And I think that this is where a lot of people get stuck, or they don't quite understand why. Me, Mollie, why am I talking about the difference between optimization and monetization? Okay, so we're going to start first with optimization. Optimization side really is your marketing side, okay? Marketing in my world equates to pre-sales, okay? Your marketing strategy is your content, It is your brand. It is how you share your thought leadership. This is, yes, your content that you are posting on LinkedIn. Okay. The goal of your marketing strategy for optimization's sake is to increase visibility, credibility, and influence. Okay. Now, if you talk about the monetization side, of course, this is sales. This is to help you increase conversation and conversion. Okay. Now, you do this on LinkedIn through community growth, such as diversifying your community members. There's a lot of different types of community members that you can have on LinkedIn. First degree connections, followers, subscribers, and then you have those loyal lurkers. Okay. Yeah, let's not forget about them. Okay. Now, when we think about community growth, I want for you to think about how can I get all 4 types of community members for steady growth on my LinkedIn profile and presence. Okay. The more you can diversify these 4 different types of community members, the higher your probability is if you know how to sell to monetize it. Okay. Of course, monetization also means revenue growth, right? There's a lot of different ways for you to actually sell on LinkedIn. And we're going to share some of those tips for you today. And then for all of my individuals who are looking to be an influencer, maybe you're looking for brand deals, right? Side note, but really important, you mark my words, you heard it here first. 2026 is going to be the year for LinkedIn influencers. Watch the amount of brands that are going to lean into the individuals on LinkedIn who have a solid amount of followers, and watch those brand deals pop up around. Just watch, okay? This is not just an Instagram and TikTok thing anymore. LinkedIn influencers are here to stay. So if you are part of the UGC community, if you want to tap into the brand deals, make sure that your LinkedIn is set up for brand deals. That is where people are going. Okay. If you don't know, last year, Louis Vuitton did a brand collaboration with influencers on the platform. And then Chanel actually also did a live sales event where they were selling on LinkedIn Live, y'all. Okay, so mark my words, if you are in the UGC realm, this is where you are going to want to ensure that you can monetize your LinkedIn strategy, because LinkedIn influencing is now starting to gain traction, and a lot of brands understand that power. Yes, Duvet.
All right, so you said UGC. Let's stop there. So there might be some people on this training that don't know what UGC stands for. Can you explain that a little bit?
User generated content, which means a content creator. In short, UGC literally is just you as a content creator. If you identify yourself as a content creator, you fall under the UGC. Okay. Now you have UGCs, content creators, that are just there to just make content to make content, right? A great example of that is TikTok. You have people who just put out funny videos, or they do dancing videos. They're not looking to try to monetize it by any means. They're just kind of there to share, right? But in the UGC world, this is where the monetization, this is what separates it from people who are just making funny videos on TikTok to people who are getting money for views, money, commission for selling products, talking about their business. That's the difference. Okay, so we're starting to see that cross over to the LinkedIn side of things through LinkedIn Lives, LinkedIn videos, and brand collaborations.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And then I'm just going to quickly elaborate on the collaboration and referrals. Okay. So in my space, I'm a coach and a consultant. Okay. In 2025, this has been such a monumental year for me in my business. I have found not one, not two, but 3 joint venture partners, meaning we share profit, okay, because of LinkedIn. LinkedIn is what brought them to me. All right. Think about that. I would be out of profit if I didn't establish my presence on LinkedIn. And because I understood how to present myself, my value, my services, my partnership, I would have never secured the 3 joint ventures that I'm in this year. Okay. All right. Okay. So what does optimization even look like? All right. So I'm going to start from the top left corner and move myself clockwise. Okay. So here's the thing. I think one of the most common questions that people ask is like, okay, Molly, but like, maybe I don't see myself as a content creator. Maybe I struggle with creating content. How can I at least get started with getting more visibility, credibility, and influence? Content resharing is one of the easiest things that you can do to help drive people to your profile and to generate conversation. Okay, today's a really good example. I'm going to pull up my LinkedIn profile for you in just a few minutes here, and I will show you exactly what I do, right, when I am resharing content. For LinkedIn newsletters, okay, I'm curious, okay, how many people actually have a LinkedIn newsletter? Put me in the chat if that's you, or pop off of mute.
I don't.
Okay, that's all right. I think I'm the only one, and that's all right. That's pretty normal, to be honest with you. Okay, here's the thing. In order for you to get subscribers, you need a newsletter. Okay. Remember, optimization drives visibility, credibility, and influence. This is your marketing strategy, and it sets you up for pre-sales. Here are some things about a LinkedIn newsletter that you may not know. Number 1, a LinkedIn newsletter doubles up as an email campaign. So if your email list is really small because you're having some time, you're needing a little bit more time to grow it, you know, not a lot of people are willing to give their email addresses nowadays. All right. An email address is social currency, y'all. People think twice before they enter their emails into anything anymore. Okay. A LinkedIn newsletter, first off, it gets sent to all of your followers and your first reconnections. So in Duvet's case, you said you just hit 9,000, was it that you said?
8,000.
8,000. Imagine 8,000 people on your newsletter. Think about it.
Yeah.
Right? Super easy way to turn those followers into subscribers to your newsletter, because LinkedIn is going to do the work for you. All you have to do is drop the publications. Now, my clients only drop a monthly newsletter. They do not do it weekly. You can if you want to. I do mine bi-weekly. All right. I just want for you guys to start dropping monthly newsletters, because when you publish a newsletter, it will send directly to your subscribers' primary inbox. It does not sit in the promotional tab in your Gmail. It goes to their primary inbox. So think about that. Okay. Here's another tip for you. I'm jumping around here, but we're on the topic of newsletters. If you have a digital course, an ebook, if you have a product or a service you're pushing to sell, put that link within the first 20% of your newsletter, okay? Because when you publish your newsletter and it sends it out in an email, the first 30% of your newsletter is going to be within the body of the email, and there's a hyperlink, okay? We want to drive people to purchase your stuff, okay? So don't wait until the very end of your newsletter to hyperlink your ebook, your digital course, your program, whatever, because no one's going to see it then otherwise. Okay. Your goal is to get that visibility for people to click and buy on the newsletter. Okay. I can talk so much. Like LinkedIn newsletter is a whole workshop in itself, y'all. Okay. But for now, I'm just gonna scratch the surface. Okay. Moving right along. Profile visibility. When we talk about optimization, here's the thing. Okay. We want to drive people to your profile. We want people to click on your personal profile to be specific, okay? Now, the way that we do that is we want to make sure that your profile is completely complete, that you, and I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like, okay, in a minute. But really, when you have a fully optimized profile, okay, you guys know how LinkedIn will like score your profile. It'll be like, oh, you're a 9 out of 10. You're almost there to a complete profile, right? The reason why they do that is because the algorithm incentivizes you to have a complete profile so that it can push your profile out to other people. Okay, so it's really, really important from a visibility perspective. And then last but certainly not least is search results, okay? Everything on your profile, every single keyword is optimized, okay? So for example, again, just using me as an example, if somebody put in their LinkedIn sales, my profile should have all of LinkedIn sales condensed within it because it's going to drive stronger search results. I want to be found. I want people to put in LinkedIn sales, and I want to be the top 10 profiles that show up on the results page, okay? So optimization is also based on keyword density. So I want for you guys to think about, here's an exercise for you guys for optimization's sake. When we're done with this call, I want for you to jot down 3 to 5 key terms that you would want someone to identify your profile for. Okay, so for me, LinkedIn sales, LinkedIn marketing, social seller, business coach. These are the 5 keywords that I have sprinkled throughout my profile to ensure that when people put in those 5 keywords, that my profile shows up. Okay, so just 3 to 5, and you really want to pound on those 3 to 5 keywords throughout your profile. In every single section, you are saying those same 5 words over and over and over and over again throughout your profile. Okay, that's the reason why we call it keyword density, because it's heavy on those keywords. Okay, so I'm doing a lot of talking at y'all, and I need to take a sip of my coffee. So
okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell me, if you pick one, you never know who's in the room. You never know who knows who needs to connect with you. So if you're here, either pop off of mute or put it in the chat. What is one keyword that you want to be leveraging in your profile for optimization and density? What's that one keyword you want people to know about you and or your business?
Dementia expert.
Ooh, love that, Mo. Duvet branding, absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Love that. Anybody else? Maybe you're still thinking about it. Okay.
I have
Moving.
a quick question.
Please.
Do you need to have the premium version of LinkedIn to create the newsletter?
No, ma'am, you do not. Okay. And here's the other thing. LinkedIn for 2026 trends that I am predicting is this. At the end of the day, LinkedIn is and will always be a corporation first. Okay. We live in a capitalist society, y'all, whether we like it or not. But here's the truth of the matter. You want to make sure that you have a LinkedIn newsletter, that you are leveraging all the functionalities now, because 2026, LinkedIn is going to become more pay to play, which means unless you are paying for these functions, you're not going to get it. Okay. But LinkedIn tends to be pretty nice. If you have a newsletter, in this case, Mo, right? In your case, if you already have a LinkedIn newsletter, most of the time they will grandfather you in without having to pay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure that you guys have all of the functions that you possibly can on your profile right now. LinkedIn, like I said, will start to force us all to pay to do these things. unless you're on it, most of the time they'll be nice and they'll grandfather you in. Okay. So even if you don't think you're going to use it right now, at least establish it. Okay. You don't need to publish anything right now. All you need to do to create a LinkedIn newsletter is you need a newsletter title. You need to pick the cadence of your publication. Okay. And that's it. And that's all you need right now. Okay. You don't even need to publish anything yet, but make sure that you have something slated, because if and when LinkedIn decides that this is now a paid function, you want to be grandfathered in and not have to pay for that. Okay? Good question. Any other questions? You're so welcome.
Yeah. Great question, Mo.
Anything else? All right. All right. So let's talk about my favorite. Money. That's my favorite topic to talk about. Okay. So let's talk about this.
Wait,
So,
did you do LinkedIn events?
Do I do LinkedIn events? Sure do.
No, the one in the corner. Did you go over that yet?
Oh, I will. Nope, this is the monetization slide. Yep. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I will. Did I miss? No, search results. Yep, we're good. Yeah, so we're now.
Okay.
Yep, good call.
Okay.
Yep, I got you. So let's first talk about inbound and outbound lead gen and prospecting. Okay. If I get this question a lot, honestly. When people ask me, okay, Mollie, what was the number one thing that took your revenue from $270 a year to $103,000 a year? It is lead generation and prospecting. Okay. So for those of you who are like, what is prospecting? What is lead generation? This is your strategy where you are going out and you're sending connection requests out to people. Okay. When you are doing outbound prospecting, this is you taking 15 minutes every other day, okay, to find your ideal clients on LinkedIn. Okay. Now, Mo, in your case, you said you're a dementia expert. Can you tell me a little bit more about who your ideal clients are? Are you looking for like nursing homes? Who are you trying to do business with?
Yeah, like my ICP is like you mentioned, nursing homes, assisted livings, and memory care. Just to kind of name a few, as well as families.
Beautiful. Okay. Now, in your case, this is how you could use LinkedIn to connect with those individuals. All you got to do is go into the search bar and put in their DONs, right? Fun fact, I used to work in healthcare for 10 years as an HR person, specifically in long-term care, so I know what you're talking about, okay? All you got to do is put in their DONs and then see who is in your local area and start sending them connection requests. And it doesn't even have to be a customized message or anything. All you want to do is click, connect. Do not overthink the prospecting, okay? The reason why this helps you guys to monetize your business is this. A lot of the times when we put out content like a newsletter, or we're putting out a video, or we're doing a LinkedIn live event or what have you, it's low registrations. People aren't seeing it, right? It's because you're not nurturing your community. So I want for you to think about your LinkedIn content when you're putting out your marketing material like a billboard, right? Right now, if you are not sending connection requests out to your ICPs, your ideal clients, and you're not steadily growing your first degree connections, your followers, your subscribers, it's like you paying for a billboard in the middle of a desert. Nobody is going to see it. Maybe one or two cars might zip by, but they're like, oh, that's nice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When you do outbound and inbound prospecting and lead generation, I want for you to think of it like this. You've got your billboard, and now you're building houses around this billboard. It does not matter that you're in the middle of a desert. You are going to build the houses, and people are going to come live in the house. Your first degree connections, subscribers, and followers are your community members. Think about it. If you're building houses around your billboard, they will see your content. They will see your marketing. That is the power of prospecting. Okay. So make sure that you're just spending 15 minutes every other day. It does not need to take a lot of time. and you need to just send out connection requests. Okay. Here's my rule of thumb, 80-20. Start with 10 connection requests a week as your goal. Okay. Totally doable, y'all. 8 of those 10 connection invitations that you are sending out should be to an ideal prospect. The other 2 can be family, neighbors, people you go to church with, your dog. I don't care who those other 2 people are. Okay. But your goal is to be at least 8 out of those 10 invites that you're sending out should be an ideal client. That way your messaging sticks. That way your marketing actually resonates with what they're wanting to hear from you. Okay. All right. Let's move along.
Quick question.
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry, what is a DON?
Oh, Director of Nursing.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. DON, my friend. DON. Oh, yeah. Oh, Mo, you and we're going to have a conversation because I have so many people in the back of my brain here for you that would be advantageous.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Yeah. Let's make the most of my 10 years in healthcare for you. Okay. Moving on to in-mail sales sequencing and pre-qualification. Okay. This is essentially selling in the DMs. Okay. What people forget is that on LinkedIn, here's the reality of LinkedIn sales. Number 1, LinkedIn sales is longer. The sales cycle is longer. Okay. The quickest that I've been able to close a client is in about 14 days. Okay. The longest has been 2 years, y'all. 2 years. Okay. You really have to put in the work to work these leads. It is not something where people can just automatically, like if you are not patient, LinkedIn sales is not for you, my friend. I'm going to be honest with you right now. Okay. But it is worth it because the people on LinkedIn have more disposable income to pay for us. Okay. And so you want to make sure that you're leveraging the in-mails, the DMs to pre-qualify your leads. You should be having conversations with the people who want to talk to you. You should be asking them engaging questions to understand. Are they pitch ready for you? Are they ready to have a formal sales conversation with you or not? Okay. Do not stop on just sending the connection request because this is just step 1 of sales on LinkedIn. Step 2 is getting them in a conversation with you, assuming they're willing to. And then you're doing pre-qualification questions to understand, number 1, are they truly an ideal client of yours? Number 2, are they interested and ready to buy from you? Okay. I do not force. I do not manipulate. I do not convince people to work with me. I only want to work with the people who are ready. Point and blank, right? Like we're not spinning our wheels here. That's the reason why LinkedIn is so powerful for me for sales, because if you don't want to talk to me, I'm not trying to pester you. Move on next. I'm literally like Ariana Grande. Thank you next. Thank you next. Thank you next. I'm for real. I bless and release. I bless and release because I only want to engage in a conversation with people in the DMs if you have 1, urgency, commitment, and financial resources to work with me. If you do not have these 3 things, thank you next. Thank you next. Respectfully. Okay. That is how we leverage the DMs to get sales. Okay. We pre-qualify. We understand the questions that we want to ask in a sequence, and we understand their urgency level, commitment level, and financial resource setting. Where are they? Are they ready? Okay. Sales landing page. Here's the thing about your LinkedIn profile. Your LinkedIn profile should be set up like a sales landing page. For those of you who don't know what a landing page is, this is essentially just a fancy word to say, my profile is going to sell for me. Okay. And again, I'll show you what this looks like in a minute. Your profile, every single section of your profile should be set up for some type of sales call to action. So whether it's book a call, whether it's join my event, whether it's join my email list, it needs to lead to a sales funnel to get into your ecosystem some way, somehow. Okay. And then last but certainly not least is LinkedIn events. Okay. I am big on LinkedIn events. I do anywhere between 2 to 3 a month.
Mm.
LinkedIn events are so powerful because LinkedIn helps to push your event out to people. Okay.
Okay.
And the more you do events, the more LinkedIn's algorithm will clock you as a thought leader, somebody who is influential and someone who's credible. Okay. And quite frankly, this is how I get my sales calls. Okay. It's when I do a LinkedIn event, my next pitch is, okay, if you need help with this, hop on a call with me. Okay. 90% of my sales calls that I book monthly is from a LinkedIn event. Okay. And again, I'll show you that in a minute. All right. So let's go through a LinkedIn walkthrough. Let me stop my screen real quick here and get us over to my LinkedIn profile. All right. Blow this up. All right. So listen, y'all, I'm big on practicing what I preach. Okay. We are going to use my profile in particular as an example of how I use my profile and optimize profile to drive revenue and monetization within my business. Okay. Now, first thing that you'll see, in case you're like, wait, mine doesn't look like that. Highly recommend that if you guys are not currently using Taplio, highly recommend that you guys download the Chrome extension, Taplio. Do not go to taplio.com. It's going to force you to pay. If you download the Chrome extension, Taplio X, you should be able to download this Chrome extension for free. Okay. You will see here, I love data. Data really helps you to see how you are growing in your visibility and your community members. Okay. So as you can see here in the last 30 days, which I will say it's been the holidays and my numbers are looking pretty good, even though it's the holiday season. Okay.
Mm.
So what you can see here and what I want for you guys to understand when you're looking at your data is this. Followers is, again, diversification of your community members. Impressions is how many eyes is the algorithm pushing your content to. This tells me that what I'm putting out is resonating with people and the algorithm is incentivizing it to be seen by more people. Okay. Engagements is down a little bit from 30 days ago. Engagements is people who like your post, repost, comment, things of that nature. Not surprised. It's the holiday season. People aren't logging into LinkedIn and engaging as much. I'm not too worried about that. Profile views. Really, really important. Remember what I just said? Profile views drives people to you. You want people to see your profile. You want it to act as a sales page for you. So for me, I'm doing pretty good, given it being the holiday season. And then you'll see here that my follower growth, I'm averaging just under 3 new followers a day, okay? Which is pretty sustainable for me, which I like, okay?
Mm.
Taplio also shows you, okay, your posts with the most engagement, the most impressions, and copy and paste. So as you guys can see right now, I quoted Cardi B. I love Cardi. I love me a good Cardi B. Okay, that's she's fun. If I could channel my inner Cardi B, I would. Okay, so clearly people really resonated with this post as well. All right, so Taplio is a great tool for you to have. All right, let's move on to profile stuff. Okay, so here we go. Now, I am on premium. So there are some things on my profile that you on the free version won't have. For example, this carousel cover photo, this is a premium perk, okay? But it doesn't matter, honestly, for you. If you're on the free version, I just want for you to be very intentional about your cover photo. You should have a picture selling your service, your product, what you have to offer. Okay. It should not just be a regular schmegular Canva photo image. This is your billboard. Make it count. Sell your product or your service on here. So you can see that's what I did with all of these. Okay. Dewey says, can you review mine? Absolutely. 100%. 100%. Okay. Moving right along here. Now, I don't know if you can hear this, but I want you to listen to this. This is not me pronouncing my name, y'all. Let me know, Duvay, if you can hear this.
Done with you or done
Yes,
for
I
you?
can.
LinkedIn sales, marketing, and lead generation. Let me help you to win at your LinkedIn strategy.
What did you guys hear?
Yeah, you was telling what to do after they look at your profile if they need help.
It is a sales pitch, my friends. Hello. We sell in every aspect of the game on LinkedIn. I am not recording my name. People know what my name is. Now, Duvay, in your case, you might want to say like, hi, I'm Duvay, and I'm a branding specialist and expert, right? Like you got 10 seconds to work with. So I'm not saying don't say your name. What I'm saying is don't use it just to pronounce your name, y'all. Let's be smart and sell. Okay, so that's my recommendation for you. Now, in your headline is one of the most powerful things that people can get from you. You need to be able to articulate what you do and how you help, who you help in your headline. Okay, be very direct and specific. Your headline is going to help you to convert those connection requests. Okay, I think when I was pulling my numbers for 2025, I think my connection conversion rate was like 42-44%, which isn't bad at all. Okay, on average, it's 20 to 30%. My headline, I'm direct. If people keep me on pending, that tells me that they're not ready to talk to me. I want you to only accept if you're willing to talk to me. Okay, so your headline is going to help you to ensure that you're filtering out people who are not ready to pay for your services right now. Contact info. Please make sure that you have every single link on here. Everything from here's my website, here's my booking link, things of that nature. Give people the opportunity to actually book a call and find out more information from you. Okay, be very intentional about that. Now, in my about section, as you can see, there's a see more here, right? But right away, what can you see? The second thing on this list is book a call. Listen, the difference between how you optimize your LinkedIn profile to optimizing it for monetization is you sell. Every single section of your profile should be for sales. Okay, so pull up that booking link, pull up your link to purchase your product, your service towards the front of your about section. The chance of them opening this up and reading it is very low. People will not expand your about section. They're not going to come and look all the way at the bottom here to talk to you. It just won't happen. Make it easy for them to want to work with you, to book a call with you. Okay. Now, for the service marketplace, this is a premium perk where you can pin testimonials, what have you. But again, let me highlight this right here. The very first thing you see without clicking see more is book a call, book a call, book a call. I sell like hell on my LinkedIn profile, and I have no shame in my game, and you shouldn't either. Okay. Featured section. This here is a wonderful place for you to pin your service, your product, things that you have in your service offers, okay? So please make sure that you guys are being intentional about the featured section because, again, people aren't going to click like this, okay? Most people won't. So you want to pin the very first thing. Like, so I'm doing on January 6th, I'm doing a LinkedIn sales strategy hot seat, where if you're looking to use LinkedIn for your sales strategy, you're going to come in and we're literally going to do a hot seat. I'm going to say, okay, what are you selling? How are you selling it? And I'm giving you tips on that, right? That's happening January 6th. I'm going to pin that on my featured section so I can get more people to come in, okay? For your activity section, there are so many different types of posts and content you can create, right? In my case, you guys can see I have everything from me commenting on people's my videos, my images, I have my newsletters, and then I have my events. Okay. I even have documents. So this is the way that you can use the activity section to sell, sell, sell. Make sure you are leveraging every single one of these different types of content. Because if you're only doing posts, but you're not commenting, and you're only doing images, but you're not doing videos, and you refuse to do a newsletter and you don't want to do a document or an event, you are missing out on so many sales opportunities. All right. Okay. Experience section. Again, as you can see here, I'm telling people exactly what I do. Okay. And I'm giving people an opportunity to book a call. Book a call is literally the first line in a lot of my experience section. Remember, LinkedIn is still a social media platform. Add images, add video, add media. Make it enticing for people to see your journey. Okay. And then let me skip down to the recommendations. Okay. The recommendations are great, but here's really how I want for you guys to use it from a sales perspective. Yes, of course, we want people who we worked with as clients to talk about how we, provide services and all the things. But what's most important is this, okay? Danielle's a really good example. Sasha's a good example, okay? If I scroll down here, Leah's a really good example, okay? But let me just scroll up here. Danielle and Sasha aren't clients of mine. They actually hopped on a sales call. They weren't ready yet to work with me. Okay, but because I delivered so much value on that call, they said, Mollie, what can I do? How can I return and reciprocate in kind your generosity? You know what I said? I said, well, could you just write your experience of my sales call on my recommendations? Mm-hmm. If somebody books a sales call with me and they read that Danielle and Sasha was like, I'm not even a client of Mollie, but I loved spending that 30 minutes with her. This is what she did for me in 30 minutes. Highly recommend it. She's a real deal, right? Hello. I just went and I established more credibility and trust with people who might be hesitant to book a sales call with me, right? So that's a great way for you to use the recommendation section, okay? Now, I know we are coming short on time and I'm going through this real fast, but let's go through duvets real quick because I know that we had covered a couple duvet, and that's the power of having me in your network. You get to ask. You get to ask me to take a look, and I can do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Love this photo duvet. I would add one other thing on here. I know that you speak, right? But how can we help you to sell? What are you selling? What's your big sales push for Q1 in 2026?
Our curriculum. So we have a curriculum that we're going to be pitching to high schools.
Love that. Change that photo to something like that. Even if you can use this photo and put some verbiage over here, like coming January 2026, curriculum for high schools, right? Like interested or intrigued, ? DM me or something like that. That's going to help really push for people. That's going to be helpful for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Add your booking link. Okay. Book a call with me, whether it's a virtual coffee chat or sales call, put that right here.
Okay. I can put that in the website section?
Yes.
Okay. I thought it had to be a website. Okay.
Nope. There is, and I will open up mine so I can show you. Okay. You have the ability to add a whole bunch of different links in your about section. And let me just show you how to do that. Oh, internet's going crazy here, y'all. Okay.
Okay.
So if you go into the little pencil and you scroll down.
Mm-hmm. Wait, I can't see it.
Oh, can you not? Oh, because I know we're on your page. But click the little pencil. You will have the option for you to go in and add more links to it. Okay.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
Yep. For your about section, this is good. Pull up your book a call link right to the top here.
Okay.
On here, or the curriculum, or whatever it is that you want for people to buy. Okay. Your services look good. This is awesome. Nice. You've already got some reviews on here, which is awesome. Okay. I want for you to add one more media, which is the curriculum on here, so that when people come, they can find more information on the curriculum.
Okay.
Do you have a freebie or an opt-in to grow your email list? Do you have, or even you pinning a post explaining the new curriculum on here would be a really nice way for you to add in a more robust. You've got 3 tiles on your featured section that you can use to sell. Okay. So usually the rule of thumb is create a visual for people to book a call with you, create a visual for your curriculum, and then your freebie or opt-in to grow your email list or your LinkedIn newsletter. Okay.
Okay.
Your content is so good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take some of these beautiful pictures, Duve, and add them into your experience here to make it more eye-catchy.
How can you do that?
Yeah, here, I'll show you. So,
hey, man, I hope y'all taking advantage of this, man, because we're gonna do everything she said. I'm taking notes.
yes. And
Okay.
Me too.
Good. Here's the thing.
Good.
I mean, I want you guys to know that, like, please nudge me. Like, let's hop on a call. Duve knows me. At the end of the day, I'm that type of person where if you got questions, I've got answers. All you got to do is get on my calendar. That's it, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to just snag some virtual coffee chat time with me so we can walk you through it, okay? So you go to your experience and you click this pencil, okay? Mm-hmm. Once you do that, it says add media button right here. And then you just add all your media stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Now you are limited to 50, okay? 50, but that's plenty. That's
plenty. Well, now is that 50 because you're premium, so it may be less for regular?
Nope, it is still 50 for the free version.
Okay.
Okay.
And before we end the call, what I would love for you to do, and again, this is your show, maybe share the benefits, the pros and cons of having pro versus just having regular. Because I've had both. Yeah. And I think what happened for me is I had Sales Navigator, and that was so overwhelming to learn it that I couldn't really dive into it because I have a marketing agency. My first thing is I got to make sure my clients are good before I go try to learn something else.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, so let me do this. Okay. I'm just going to drop in my coffee chat.
Okay. Yeah, please.
Link here for you guys. If you guys got more questions about your profile, you can go ahead and book that. It's just a 30-minute chat with me, and let's continue this conversation. Okay. Now, here's the thing. What usually people, they jump too soon into premium and sales nav because LinkedIn is a demographic first platform, which means you got to know how to find your people on LinkedIn and then take that and put it into a search string within SalesNav. If you don't know how to find your people on the free version right now, that's the reason why SalesNav wasn't going to do anything for you, because you're like, as you can tell, Duve, SalesNav is just a tool. They don't teach you how to use it. They don't show you how to, they can't even point you in the right direction of what's the right search string for us, right? Mm-hmm. So I want for you guys to, I talk an analogy, so I'll say this. If you want to use LinkedIn for sales, the reason why I say you want to start with the free version first, or if you're like, I'm going all in and I do want to invest, business premium is your next best option. Sales Nav is, okay, let me go this way. Free version of LinkedIn is like addition and subtraction and math. You got to learn how to add and subtract before you go to business premium, which is multiplication and division. Sales Nav is calculus, my friends. You can't expect to skip addition, subtraction, multiplication, and long division and go directly to calculus and think that you're going to know what you're doing. That's how LinkedIn makes its money, is off of your inability to understand, because what it sells, LinkedIn sells a magic bullet. through sales now. That's what they do. They're like, oh yeah, we can solve all the problems for you. But as soon as you pay for it, you're like, what am I doing? What I don't understand how to use it, right? That's why I say to you, okay, if you haven't converted anybody on LinkedIn, start with the free version.
Okay.
I have so many strategies that I can help you guys to learn how to do on the free version. Okay. That's going to help you to convert your community members into paying clients first. Once you get the groove of it, then it makes sense for you to pay for premium like how I do. Get the return on investment, right? Like you need to get an ROI. Business premium is like, here's another analogy. Okay. Think about cars. The free version, you got the steering wheel, you got the car, you got the 4 tires. It's going to get you to point A to point B. It is the lowest class model of a Toyota Camry that you can get. Okay. It is the DX level. Okay. Business premium is the EX level. You got a little bit of the bells and whistles. You got the GPS. You got the nice screen. Okay. You got the heated seats, but it's still going to get you to point A to point B. It's just a little bit more bells and whistles. You guys saw that. Sales now is if you are completely wanting a drive like Tesla, it can drive by itself while you taking a nap. You can do all that. You know what you're doing in order for the car to drive itself. Okay, so I want for you guys to think of it this way: if you're not converting sales on the free version, it is a little bit too premature for you to invest in business premium, and for sure too soon for you to invest in sales now. Okay. Yeah. But in your case, Duve, if your clients are using Sales Nav and you need some help on how to do that, I can be your wizard behind the curtain to help you to understand how to do Sales Nav for your clients.
Okay. And then the other thing real quick is so I noticed when I had the Pro or whatever it's called, I can see I did like that I could see who was looking at. So one time I glanced at it one day, I actually had the president of FSU looking at my profile, which is huge. But again, all right. So now what I do with that? Do I reach out and say, hey, I saw you looking at my page, or what would you say?
Yeah. I do think it's powerful for you to see who is viewing your profile. But for me, profile views is more of like a lukewarm lead. It's kind of like, sure, maybe they accidentally clicked on it, or, I find it kind of creepy if someone found, like, if I saw them, like, oh, hey, by the way, I saw that you looked at my profile. Can we connect, right? What if they're like, oh, that was an accident and not what I say, right? Instead, what I would prefer for you to do is to connect and send messages out to people who follow you. So, for example, Duve, because you have 8,000 people, 8,000 followers, are they first-degree connections? If they're an ideal client, you want to be first-degree connected, because first-degree connections are powerful. You can talk to them in the DMs for free. You can invite first-degree connections to your events. You can only invite first-degree connections to your events. You cannot invite followers, and you cannot invite subscribers. So the way that I get thousands of people to my event, real talk, right before I hopped on to today's talk, I sent 800 connections to my event on January 6th. 800 invitations in a matter of 5 minutes. Why? Because they're my first 3 connections. You cannot invite followers. Okay, gotcha. So for you, I would rather you do not need to pay for the profile views. You just need to mine the list that you already have. And in your case, your followers, your 8,000 followers, if they're an ideal client, you should be sending them a connection request saying, hey, Mollie, I see that you're a follower of mine. Thank you so much for being a part of my community. I would also like to be connected with you and get to know you better. Do they? Send them the connection request, and then once they accept, you start generating the conversation. That's how we get sales. It's through conversation. Okay?
Yep.
That was a lot, y'all. I know. Thank you so much for being here and for letting me just talk your ears off with LinkedIn strategy. What other questions, thoughts, comments do you have about today's session? How can I be in service? How can I be a resource for you?
What types of posts? Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, y'all, please don't be shy. Go ahead, share, ask your question.
Oh, I wanted to ask, what type of posts do you feel, um, let me see how I should phrase this. Okay, my first question is the cadence of posting, how often, and then like what types of content. I know you mentioned like reposting is really powerful, but when it comes up, like for me, I may be listening to a podcast or I've had a conversation with a client or I'm doing some market research and things come up for me that really bring out some feelings of like frustration or like, dang, I can't believe this group doesn't know that. I know I can help them with that. Are these things I should just be writing about or like, what would grab more followers, more views, more connections?
Yes. Yes to that. Let me just say that right now. Okay. So to answer your first question of frequency, cadence, quality over quantity all day, every day. Okay. The thing about LinkedIn is this. If you're just talking to talk, no one's going to want to listen anyway. Okay.
Mhm.
So what you say needs to matter. What you say has to be polarizing enough where it's going to make someone stop and say, ooh, Mo just had this. Oh, that's a topic, right? So absolutely, to your point of like, oh yeah, I like people aren't really talking about this topic, but I want them to know. For example, I want for you guys to go onto my LinkedIn profile and today's post, I just reposted a TikTok video where they're talking about using Tinder and Bumble, which are all of your dating sites, to land interviews. Say what? What are they doing? That's a hot topic, right? So it's
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like you want to make people stop and you want people to think, oh my gosh, yeah, that's an interesting topic. Okay. You want to challenge the way that they think about dementia, long-term care, right? I want for you to really lovingly challenge people to think in a way that is outside of the cookie cutter vanilla stuff. Okay. And so the rule of thumb is this: if you're going to create content, you want LinkedIn actually created, they wrote an article. I put it into a template for my community. It's called CETs or CEPs, category entry points, which essentially means writing content that's going to help your ideal clients to come into your ecosystem, hence an entry point, right? But you got to say stuff that's going to not be things that people can already Google, people can find on YouTube. And now we're fighting AI, right? Like I shouldn't say fight, but we're competing with AI, right? Say things that AI would not be able to pull out. Give your interpretation of a topic. Give your 2 cents on this specific keyword topic that's unique to you. AI cannot mirror us as humans. We have critical thinking skills. AI does not. So when you're creating content, make sure that you're pulling in thought leadership, more importantly, critical thinking. Okay. Challenge the way that people think about the industry that you're in to establish visibility, credibility, and influence. Okay. Twice a week is all that you need right now. But those 2 posts really need to be quality content. Okay. And then the way that you get more views, more impressions, the algorithm to incentivize it is this. The algorithm focuses on your first degree connections first. So that's the reason why I keep saying to you guys have to spend 15 minutes to send connection requests out to your ideal clients. Because if you're putting out content and your ICPs are not liking or engaging or commenting or reposting, LinkedIn's algorithm is going to think that your posts don't have much value. Okay, so that's the reason why it's got to be a twofold strategy here. If you want a lot of people to see your engagement or your posts, you have to send connection requests out to the people who care about the topics you're talking about. Once your first degree connections engage, like, repost, share, save, it sends signals to the algorithm that says, oh, Mo's writing about things that her community values. We're going to push this out to more people, second degree, third degree plus people, because obviously if her first degree connections like it, then other people will too. And that is why people really don't see the numbers for visibilities, because they're not growing their first three connections. They think if I just put out content, that people are gonna like it. That's not how that works. You got to first start with growing your first three connections with your ICP, putting out content that speaks to your ICP, have them engage, save, repost, like, and that's what creates the algorithm success. Okay? Solid question.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Anything else? For all of my shy peeps, if you guys want to have a more one-on-one conversation, highly recommend that you guys take some time on my calendar. I get it. Sometimes it's easier to just ask some more customized questions, right? On here. So I want to make sure that we are extending that level of support for you.
Yeah, I agree. And I do have, if no one has a question, I do have a comment about what you just said. So since I've done that, basically connecting with people that I intentionally want to work with, that's when my following kind of like has really blown up. So I was kind of stuck around the 5,000 area. And then I said, all right, so who do I really want to work with? So I really want to work. My goal is to become a professor at a university.
Nice.
So I started reaching out to my past schools to say, hey, I'm willing to come in, volunteer in the beginning. But then that started to actually have other professors reach out and started connecting. And I'm not even talking about, again, I'm in Florida. I literally just had a professor out of California reach out to me and ask to connect with me. And again, there is no connection there. So I know it's because what I'm posting about makes sense. I'm talking about branding, marketing, and then the goal is to start rolling out the curriculum. So I agree with what Mollie's saying. It's like, hey, when your content is matching who you actually have in your degrees, then it's like, okay, let's push that out to more people.
Exactly.
And what I've focused on doing now is we've been approached by multiple banks, because I told you this, Molly. As a marketing agency, we do 6 networking events a month, right? And so our goal is always to bring the community together. Well, the banks have started to see them, and now they're like, hey, we got money that we need to spend every wherever you guys live. Keep this in mind. There's something called the CRA. It stands for Community Reinvestment Act. And so what that means is every bank that is in that specific location, they have a certain dollar amount they have to spend each year, or they get hefty fines. All right. So you'll have banks that will be literally struggling, like, hey, we got 3 months to spend $10,000. What nonprofits do you know? What businesses you know doing events, right? So if you position yourself that way, you can literally kind of come in and capitalize on that because there's a need for it, right? So just figure out where you're at in your market. And that's one thing I want to ask, because I don't know any of these people on this call. So I would love to see where people are calling in from. If you don't want to say anything, you can put it in the chat. But I always love hearing like where people are actually at in the world.
I'm in California, actually. I'm in the Bay Area.
Nice.
Oh, is that close to Burbank?
No, the Burbank is maybe like 7 hours for me. That's more Southern California. So I'm
Okay,
more San Francisco region.
gotcha.
And
Got
so yeah, I'm so glad that you just mentioned what you said about the banks, because someone sent me an article recently on LinkedIn about a man who went into a bank. Long story short, he had dementia. The bank did not know how to help him, and they were not willing to help him. And the daughter lived out of state, and she was like on the phone. The father's phone died. She was trying to get him an Uber to get home, because when she did order an Uber, he didn't know the location to stand in. So she's like, hey, is there anybody who can just wait with him while I order the Uber through my phone, because his phone died, all this stuff. And they were basically like, no, we can't help you. And she's super mad. She's letting everybody know about it. She's complaining. But I'm like, these are people I can help in service industries who don't know, and they don't know they need to know these types of things. But people with dementia are your client too. So I'm so glad you mentioned what you just said about the bank's funds and how they need to like tap into different organizations, because I am that company that can help them.
Yeah.
utilize the funds. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you shared that specific story. So again, what you can do is you can walk into a bank and say, "Hey, this is what I do. If you get any clients that are like that, I would love it if you guys reach out to me." It's always best if you already have a relationship with the bank. So I mean, I'm just being transparent here. Like I bank with probably like 10 different banks, but the reason is, and I don't care if you got $1 in there. Like that's you bank with them. The reason is when you go into the bank, the first thing they're gonna look up is, hey, do you have a profile with us?
Mhm.
And they don't like what's in the account does not matter. It's just they want to know, are you someone that's trying to create a relationship? And then now you can use that as a way to say, hey, look, this is a way I want to provide a service to people that might need it. And then you never know, you might partner with another care facility and say, hey, let's partner with X bank and do an event. So now you do the event and you say, hey, we need sponsors. So I'm gonna give you a little hack, and I know Mollie, we got to go, but a huge hack is most banks, think smaller banks though. Don't think Chase, Wells Fargo, those guys are behemoths. They say they care, but they don't, just being honest.
Mhm.
Now, when you have regional banks and you have community banks and credit unions, those are your three wheelhouses. When I tell you, you can go in there, you can create a connection with someone who really wants to help. And if they really believe in the mission, they're going to go to bat for you. I'll give you a perfect example. We just partnered with Bank OZK, and we're in the process of doing an annual partnership because what happened is I met one of their business relationship managers last year. We came, he talked to me at my office. He said, hey man, I love what you're doing. We'll sponsor your next networking event. Well, that next networking event, we brought 50 people. Of those 50 people, 8 people set appointments, all 8 of them open business accounts. Now,
Mhm.
here was a beautiful thing. The guy
Nice.
who runs all of Florida for that bank called me like a month later and was like, hey, we need to do lunch. I need you to come over here. Everything's on me. He said, hey,
Mm,
your event was actually the most productive for us as a bank. And again, they're a bank that's going to the BNIs, the MP, all these big network events. He said, yours was the most productive because we opened 8 new accounts. And that's the main thing we really care about, opening accounts and helping people with loans. So I'm telling you, if you partner with the right bank and they believe in what you're doing, they will give dollars and they will give you manpower, which is
mhm.
huge.
Love this. Oh my gosh. I mean, can I just say we need a part two, right? Do this,
Yes.
right? Do this we having this conversation here with the banks.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
I so appreciate every single one of you guys being here, and even Caitlin put in there and Dean put in here. Massachusetts Bay Area, all that good stuff. Love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the power of partnership right here, right? Like what Duvet is talking about is not my zone of genius, and I'm already hanging on the line, like, ooh, tell me more, right? So I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity. Thank you, Duvet, for the exposure, the platform, the ability to tap into your community and your network and your expertise means a lot to me. So
Yes, pleasure. So look, guys, I did record this, okay? So what I'm going to do is make sure everybody gets this recording, so then that way you can go back to it if you need to pause it and write some stuff down. And like I said, look, I'm a student of this game too. So even though I'm hosting events and I've been doing what I've been doing for a long time, my mentor says you're never too old to learn, right? And
amen.
so always keep that in mind. Like, even if it's something where you feel like you know everything, always there's somebody that might come from a different angle that can help you out. So one thing Mollie and I did want to let you all know that we are in talks with putting together an actual ebook for you guys.
Mhm.
And the reason we want to do that is, of course, we do get a lot of people that have questions. And right now, our time, and we can't always do this, right? But we want to still provide a lot of value. So once we kind of hash out what that's going to look like, we're going to, of course, send it to you all that if you want to partake in it, you can. And please, like she said, follow us on LinkedIn. And once we connect, and make sure you hit connect, send us a DM, send
Yeah.
us a message. Like, that's how I get my gigs. That's how I get clients. So I'm on there on my hours of operation. And I learned that from her, from Mollie, because I love how when you message her at a time she's not on, it says, "Hey, thank you so much for messaging me. I'll get back to you within such and such time. If you need something sooner, book a call."
Mm-hmm.
Right there again, I was like, "This girl so on brand. I love it." I was like, "Man, let's go."
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, yes to all of that. So don't be a stranger, y'all. Okay. Reach out. Let us know what questions you have. Thank you again, Duvet. Thank you all. And I hope to be talking to you guys very soon. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.